right, so we've got Jeremy Dixon. Jeremy here?
Yep.
Great, welcome.
Thank you. Afternoon, everyone. Thank you for time. Jeremy Dixon, past chair, CCNZ Canterbury Westland, and current national board member for CCNZ. Here to talk on the capital spend reduction proposed in the annual plan. So you've got my report. Apologies, there was a couple of paragraphs at the end that were part of a cut and paste effort from earlier that got left in. The general gist of it's there. I'll touch on the main points. So firstly, we do understand the CCNZ and really appreciate that it's not easy for council to go through this, and they've got to get the best bang for buck and spend money in the right places. The pressure on people is immense at the moment financially, and what I'm highlighting here is that sometimes saving $1 an hour is actually not saving $1. It's actually worse for the wider economy. One of our key strategic objectives of CCNZ is to promote a healthy civil construction industry, and that helps promote a wider economic strength. So the proposal of council to reduce the capital spend by 136 million over 23-24 is really concerning. I spoke to the council a few years ago on the long-term plan, and was concerned then that the long-term plan was already undershooting our asset investment we needed to keep it at pre-earthquake levels, and what was left settled on was significantly lower than what was needed, and now we're continually undershooting on the annual plan, and we're proposing to do it even further this year, which is a real concern for us. One of the points raised in the annual plan is that it's due to resource, and it's not. I can tell you categorically, it's not a resourcing issue from our industry. We're heading into an economic recession, or we're in an economic recession at the moment. The residential market is dropping pretty much overnight. It's dropped around the rest of the country, and it's dropping rapidly in our region in Canterbury. So the subdivisions are slowing down. The commercial market's slowing down. Waka Kotahi have pretty much said, Canterbury, you've had your money. You're not getting any more. You'll get your bits funded through the council, but it's largely a massive underspend in the South Island compared to the North Island. And now the local councils are also got rates pressure, so you guys are looking to reduce your spend. And what that does is puts immense pressure on our industry, and our industry is a key cog in the machine of the wider economy. And if we underspend there now, it is going to have impacts on jobs. People will lose jobs. Those people are ratepayers, or they pay rent, and that allows rates to be paid. It hits, usually that sort of pressure on the industry hits the lower end of the smaller businesses, SMEs, and people that probably can't handle losing their jobs. The other aspect is if the work's not here, they'll go to other regions or other countries where there is work. And at the moment, Canterbury, there's a lot of work in the North Island. We'll lose good people to those areas, and once you lose those people, it's very hard to get them back. So saving $1 an hour will have a much bigger impact in the future, because it'll only cost more to do in the future. You'll lose good skilled people out of this industry and out of this region, which very hard to build up. We worked really hard during and post earthquakes to build up skill base needed to deliver the infrastructure that's needed in this city and the greater Canterbury region, and we're really at risk of losing it. And you guys can only contribute so much, and you're only responsible for so much, but we've got 3 or 4 things lining up to make an economic storm here that could cause real impact. We are the single biggest employer in the region. When you put all the suppliers, the contractors, the consultants, the engineers, the client base set up, we are the single biggest employer. So if the money is not coming into this part of the pool, then it gets really tight elsewhere in the retail and hospitality. So that's it in a nutshell. We know you can only do so much, but...
Jeremy, we've got some questions. Do you want to
take
some questions?
Take some questions.
So we've got Sam, Mark and Sarah.
Yeah, hey, thanks very much, Jeremy, for coming. It's good to see you again.
Yep.
2 things. Firstly, just out of interest, where, obviously representing the sector, where do you see the massive skills shortage in your sector, or where is the resourcing pressure? Because unless I'm talking to different people,
there's a resourcing pressure from a year ago, but I think it's turning right now, and there's not going to be a resourcing pressure going forward.
Right.
Canterbury really hasn't had a resourcing pressure. Residential market's been very, very buoyant, and there's been a lot of money and effort spent in there, and there's a lot of resources sucked up in there. That's pretty much turned off. So all of those companies working in the residential space will be available to work in this space and do the infrastructure.
Yeah, so just so I'm clear though, in terms of the residential stuff, are you sort of saying the contractors that do the subdivisions?
Not vertical
Not
builds. We're not
builders
talking
and
about
stuff
building
like that.
houses or buildings. We're talking about building pipes in the ground,
Yeah.
roads, pavements,
Yeah.
the power, the infrastructure you need.
So I guess and just the other one, Pauline, if it's okay, it's just around our spend at the moment each year. The challenge we have is actually it's the deliverability, so it's not the affordability. So, for example, this year we're struggling to spend about 390 million on internal capital, and that hasn't been cut for quite some time. So I guess I just would be keen to get your thoughts on the actual proposed reduction when we physically can't spend any more because of the deliverability aspects. Like our biggest challenge is getting the planners and the designers.
It's an internal and slightly external deliverability issue. It's how you've structured your procurement, how you've structured your delivery of your capital program, in our opinion.
And I guess just finally, just to give you some assurance, we're looking at about 465 million this year, even though we can deliver 390. So I just hate for there to be a perception out there that we're cutting everything, because actually it's really around that deliverability longer term.
Well, we would have liked to see more in the last 12 months as well. And there's only so much.
So would we, but I guess the point I'm trying to make is there was significantly more on budget than even we've got than we're delivering now. So it hasn't been an issue of cutting; it's the practicality of actually delivering it, which has been the challenge. Yeah.
Understood.
Thank you.
Okay, Mark, just very quickly, because we're kind of out of time.
Yeah, no, thanks for that, Pauline. Really interesting to hear your thoughts there, Jeremy, and interesting to hear the dying off of the residential market and the subdivisions. Do you think that there'll be ability for your contractors to jump into this space and do a lot more work for us?
And a short answer, yes. Like there's definitely different skills to work within the city environment required, but good operators will be available to adapt and work in with key businesses to be able to deliver what's needed for the city.
Excellent. And then I guess picking up on Sam's point there about the deliverability with the design and project management side of things, is that something that your industry could help with as well?
Yeah, I think you'll see a drop in the other work for design, so they'll be more interested and more able to do more work and quicker for the council.
Very good. Thank you for that.
Thanks, Mark. And
Cool.
thank you, Jeremy.
Thanks very much for your time. I like your badge.
So welcome David Hawke.